Season 9 of Rocket League has been wild to say the least. From the Rocket League community claiming popular streamers were viewbotting and that awfully backfiring, people now playing against actual bots and ranked, and everything in between. It's safe to say, things are pretty rocky at the moment. Hey, I'm Jack, your friendly neighbourhood Rocket League player that loves getting carried in the evening tournament matches. In today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts about the current state of Rocket League here in the OCE region for Season 9. Let's get into it. So I managed to play for the first week of Season 9 and it was the usual. I kid you not, I had this one player on my team for 4 consecutive games and no matter what I did, if I missed the ball, if I hit the ball, they just decided to give up in the first minute and completely waste everyone's time in the lobby. I went on a 5-game losing streak before going on to win my first game in 3s for the season, and I was bordering on the edge of Champion 2 MMR, the lowest it's been in quite a while. By this time, my evening Rocket League sessions had expired as I was bound to board a plane the next day. So a week went by and during that time I actually managed to jam a couple of Rocket League sessions with my brother on his Xbox. And being my brother, of course only one of his controllers actually worked, so I spent the entire session playing with a busted controller. I'd now found myself back in Melbourne on Christmas evening and had some time to actually queue one of the tournaments that was scheduled. Being Rocket League, of course, I was paired with a duo party for the tournament. We won 3 games in a row before getting to the 4th round, then being told by both teammates that I was an idiot and didn't know what I was doing. So much for the Christmas spirit, I guess. Here in OCE, I've definitely noticed a lot more toxicity in Season 9, and as a result, ended up turning off my chat in order to keep sane. Mind you, it is school holidays here in Australia, so it's probably all the edgy teens trying to be cool to their friends. But in all honesty, I think it's due to our lower population size and running into the exact same toxic players every competitive session I queue. Continuing on the theme of things rising in this game, I also noticed a sudden rise in queue times. And again, I think it's higher ranked players choosing to queue with our lower ranked friends on Smurf accounts. I feel like a majority of my placement matches in 3s were against 1200 and 1300 players. Then it wasn't a surprise to us players when this Stocktane 1200 MMR player was hitting double flip reset goals. This also leads into my final point on the current state of Rocket League in the OCE region, with ranked 3s being the worst I've ever seen. It's hard to say this, but I also think there's been a decrease in players in OCE playing Rocket League. Don't get me wrong though, you also have those dedicated players here in the region that I'll always run into every time I open the game. But at the moment, I must admit, things are feeling pretty stale for the game. Recently, I've been jamming out all the extra modes in the game and I've found it quite enjoyable. Heck, I got a little inspired after hitting Champion in Hoops, hoping to actually achieve GC again this season. I guess we'll have to wait to see whether or not that happens. Now, I'm by no means a Rocket League news reporter, but there have been some crazy things that have happened at the start of this year. Now, I was scrolling through Twitter, seeing that Rocket League players and content creators and the general community were talking about someone viewbotting their streams, however not actually naming the name. Then a player accusing a Rocket League content creator of the viewbotting, but then that's seemingly backfiring. I mean, I'm not completely in the loop with all of this, so do let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on this entire take. Do we actually know the person that's viewbotting their streams? Speaking of bots, oh wait, they've actually appeared in competitive recently. Being called a bot pre-2023 was an insult in the Rocket League community. However, now it seems to be a compliment, and some players have managed to crack the code and put bots into competitive lobbies. Like, I was watching some of the videos on Reddit and some of these bots were pulling off the most perfect flicks, and this one that I saw, and credit to the player trying to save all these shots, pulled off like 4 perfect flicks in a row. From what I've seen, it appears to be a Nexto type bot that's been put into these competitive lobbies. I'm low-key relieved that I haven't run into any of these bots during my competitive sessions. I mean, it's hard enough playing against human players in the first place. A point that I wanted to raise with the situation we are now seeing in this game is the fact that Epic and Psyonix have almost remained silent. Yes, we have seen some talk on Reddit with the developers of RL Gym being in contact with Psyonix and Epic to talk about not releasing any bots until this is fixed. However, we haven't seen a statement from Psyonix or Epic to address the situation. I feel like the least Epic and Psyonix could have done was to release a statement to the community to keep us informed that they're aware of this actually happening and what they're trying to put in place to stop this from occurring again. Most times, communication is key, and other times we just want to stay informed and in the loop of what's actually happening. I've also seen the mad rush of pro players trying to find new teams for the next split, but that's all I can really comment on. Let me know if I've missed anything that's been happening in these first few weeks of the year. Firstly, if you've made it to this point in the video, you're an MVP for actually making it through this entire ramble that I'm going on at the moment. And I guess I just wanted to take the time out to share my thoughts and feelings on this game that I've grown to love very much. At the moment, I'm finding it becoming increasingly difficult to play ranked. Like, I've hit Grand Champion for multiple seasons now and I just don't see anything else to do really. It's been good playing the extra modes, but I still feel like there's a bit of a void in my Rocket League gaming experience. Mind you, I've also had 3 weeks off of work, so that could also be the factor. I've also just decided to start having more fun this season. As mentioned, the extra modes have been quite a relief recently after running into too many Smurfs in 3s. At the time of this recording, I also had quite an enjoyable night last night queuing some 2s to finish off my placements, where I didn't actually run into any Smurfs the entire session. And you guessed it, I actually hit Grand Champion in those final placements, but then I lost it 2 games later. At the moment, I also just feel a bit unsure about uploading gameplay content, because I find whenever I watch Rocket League content, I get quite bored quite easily, and that's probably just my low attention span. Please let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see some more gameplay from me though, I'd be more than happy to do that. I just want to make sure you're interested in actually watching it. And lastly, I've just felt a general lull in Rocket League content, and I love Rocket League so much, but I also empathize with all the other creators in saying that Rocket League is very hard to make content for right now. But hey, there's something about this game that just won't let me give it up. So you'll still see more Rocket League content from me. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. Thank you for listening to this ramble and all my thoughts about Season 9 so far. How have you found Season 9? Let me know down in the comments. Wishing you a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you next video. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time. Catch up.